I probably should mute my Twitch page. Ah. Alright. I think I'm good. So, before we do anything, I guess I'm going to take a drink. Just to make sure. Alright. Hello, everyone. This is Chris Ingerson, and it is August 20. Off to a good start. August 31st, and this is the August 31st Text West Devstream. Alright. Today we're going to be finishing up our work on the Grove level. As of right now, the puzzle is pretty much where I want it to be. There's a little bit of polish that needs to be done. And the last thing we really need to test is persistence. So we need to make sure that everything actually persists if we leave the level and then come back. Just because it's important if people get halfway through the puzzle and then they leave, that when they come back it's in the exact same spot that it was before. Probably one of the most frustrating things to run into in a puzzle game is a puzzle that resets itself whenever you leave. Unless I guess that's the point of the puzzle. But that's not the point of the puzzle. So we have pretty much everything set up. So we're going to spend a couple of minutes setting up some level transitions between the Grove level and the Plains level, and then we'll just go back and forth between them to make sure that everything's functioning properly. I'm currently in the middle of a light map bake that I started 3-ish minutes ago. I was hoping it would be done by now. But I'm guessing that's going to be another 1 or 2 minutes. So I will talk about other stuff while that's going on. So pretty much where we are. Oh, there it goes, I think. Oh no, it's doing the army inclusion. All right. So pretty much where we are is we have the torches capable of being lit. The torch on the right, the Torch of Courage, I believe. Yep, Torch of Courage. Cannot be lit unless you actually place the log inside of it, or yeah, it's just the log for now. I might consider making that something more open to whatever you can burn in the future, but for now I think it's just going to be specifically the log. And that's pretty much it. After you light those 2 torches, you can pull the sword out. So the trick now is going to be basically, we're not going to have the log or the lamp in this level. We're going to have it in the Plains level. And that's mostly just so that we don't keep getting duplicates of these. And I want to make sure that everything is set up roughly what it's going to be like, or at least in a way that will behave like it's going to be in the final version. So the lantern and the log won't be in this level anymore. In fact, I could probably delete them once the light map is done. And once we confirm that all of this is set up and is persisting across a variety of scene transitions and such, then we'll move on to the next thing, which is going to be finishing up the Plains level, which is largely going to mean that we need to just remodel the shed in that level, and then do a couple of other minor adjustments, and then that level will be pretty much done. There wasn't a ton of stuff in there, and it shouldn't take us too long to redo everything, because it's already been textured, or retextured, I should say. So at that point, it's just kind of like minor mechanics updating and making sure that everything works the same as expected. And then that'll probably eat up all of the time that we have today. I'm going to guess that all of that will eat up at least 2 to 3 hours. So we should be fine after that. All right, just doing some minor checks to make sure that everything looks right. And then, haha, I no longer have to stall because I'm done baking a light map. Or at least I should be. Ah. Come on. I believe in you. All right. Sorry, I had to do that because I added these trees to the final sort of entryway here. Okay. We're going to let that go. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. I'm surprised. Expecting that to turn out a lot worse. Doesn't look super great, but it actually doesn't look that bad. Fancy that. A couple of minor spills in places that I wouldn't like, but it's all right. So let's go ahead and save the scene, and we're going to set up our level transitions. So first things first, actually, I think I'm going to make sure that my spawn points exist. Okay. I'm going to move the spawn point back to the entrance. So this is pretty much about where I would prefer people spawn in at. Surrounding zone is none, I guess. The spawn point ID is our grove. All right. So that's good. Let's go ahead and save. Then we're going to go to our transitions. So let's go ahead and say transitions. Actually, I'll call them level transitions. All right. So we're going to make a child object. I called it level zone. Is that what I called it? Nope, I lied. Not that. Okay. It is. Did I not call it transition? Scene transition. That's what I called it. All right. That's going to be a trigger, and we're going to call this planes. Okay. Target level is going to be our planes level. Target spawn point is going to be planes forest, and player tag is player. All right. So let's go ahead and find this. Drag this out. There we go. All right. So typically for level transitions, you don't want to put it like flush up against where the entrance is. You want to have a little bit of give. That way people can start walking down this path, and then if they realize that, oh no, I don't actually want to go this way, they can stop themselves. So I'm going to move it to about here probably. Let's give it a size of, let's see, in the X, is it 10? Yep. It's going to be 10X. We'll do 10Y. That's really tall, but you know, never hurts to be thorough. And we'll go 5 deep. That's probably good. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Do I need anything else? I don't think so, although I will put it in the ignore raycast layer. All right. And I think actually the next thing I need to do is I need to make sure that my planes level is turned on. So let's move our hero's grove up here. Okay. Let's get rid of the old hero's grove. And planes should also be turned on. But I probably should make sure that that's the correct planes. Because I might have. Okay, good, it is. So before we do anything else, I'm also going to go to the planes level. And I'm going to make sure that its level transition for the forest is actually set up to transition to the grove. Oh yeah, we got to redo this vertex painting actually. So that's going to be fun. That actually won't be too bad, I don't think. Just something that we need to do. All right, let's see here. So we're looking at the forest here. Open up the plains, spawn points, player spawn points. Let's go to forest. We're going to lower this by, go to 0. That's partially below the ground, so I'm going to go to like 0.25. 0.1. That's good. And finally, we're going to go to triggers, scene transitions, dark forest. All right, we're going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to call this woods. And we are going to target level. No, you know what? I think I'm actually just going to duplicate this. Turn this one off and turn this one on. Call it test. Grove. And we're going to move this forward. Like that. Actually, you know what? It's probably fine where it is. Okay, so it's going to go to our grove. Target spawn point will be grove. And everything else will be the same. Okay. Pretty sure that that's good enough, although I guess I could resize this. Let's see. 6. Yep, 6 seems fine with a height of 6. Yeah, it seems fine. All right, so that should be enough to trigger our transition and test everything. Make sure that our light dark trigger zone here is correct. I don't quite know why I don't have it touching the ground. That's really weird to me. There we go. That should be fine. All right, let's go ahead and give this a test. Oh, actually, you know what I did forget? Actually, no, that should work. I was going to say I forgot to tell my planes that it should spawn my lantern, but I think it'll be fine. It's just going to be in a floating spot right there. I will also go ahead and drag in my log while I'm in here. So log. Because it's not actually going to spawn in this level, it's going to spawn in the cabin, but for now it's fine if I just put it here. Let's drag you out, up, over. Let's try to put you somewhere easy to spot and not at all ridiculous. So probably that is fine. Also rotate it. All right. Oh, dang it. And I forgot to remove the torch and, or the lantern and grove. Lantern and torch. Lantern and log. Jeez, I can't talk today. Okay, so we're going to delete these two. Now we're going to go back to the... yeah, I guess we're going to go back to the plains. So we're going to start in the plains, transition to the grove, transition back after lighting the left torch, I think is what we're going to test first. And then we'll just keep transitioning back and forth to find out what does break and what doesn't break, what needs to be refactored and all that. So this should be a pretty good test. Well, apparently it's going to take a while, so... All right. Let's go ahead and run over here. Take our log. Take our lantern. Hold light lamp. Oh, frack. Right, hold on. Ah, okay, right, we gotta fix that too. Made a mental note of that and then I completely forgot. Let's see, level. Right. I wonder if this is actually something that I should do. I'm gonna... Whoa. Okay, there we go. Sorry, couldn't scroll for some reason. Let's see, we're gonna go to our other splash fade. So we might, this is something that I've been thinking about for a while. Currently all of my scene transitions are very specific. I think I have a class called scenes. And basically whenever I pass in a level ID, I pass back a string that I've hand-coded in here. And it's not particularly great. I mean, to fix this problem, all I have to do is that. But I do wonder if it's better for me to actually have some sort of scriptable object that has these things in there. That way, in case I rename things, it'll automatically change and it'll be recorded without me having to re-hand code that. So we might... Sorry, I'm adjusting my headset. I'm never sure if you guys can hear my headset being adjusted, but I assume that you can. So I might actually do that after we do some of this testing, just because one, that would be a fun thing to do, and two, that would be a nice little exercise just to do some minor editor scripting and hooking into on-scene change stuff. So okay, so we're not going to actually do anything with that now, but we should be good here since I made that change. Let's go ahead and play. Okay, so we're going to run. Let's take our log. Take, hold in, light lamp. Okay. Although I think we're going to get another null reference. Interesting. What the heck? I can't actually select anything. So like when I hit enter, nothing happens. Well, it's interesting. Okay. I'm guessing it's because of this null reference exception that we're running into. Um, hooray. And that's actually something that I was worried about. It has to do with our scene transition minigames. It's looking for data on the Grove level, which does not have any information for that. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see, generic list, start minigame, word race, and I guess that's what we're going to look at. Okay. So word race. Start minigame. There we go. So after that, we're just going to say if minigame data does not equal null, then we'll do this stuff. That should fix that problem. That's still something that I need to refactor entirely. The loading screen mini games. It's something that I would like to do. I like having mini games in my loading screens, but I feel like I could do better. Something more interesting. And something that's not nearly as confusing. Because actually, right now they're more a liability than an aid. It feels like they actually cause more issues and confusion than not having them would. So let's go ahead and try this again. Take, oops, missed it. Take, hold, and light. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Come on. How the frick? Wait, let me guess. You return a new one if there's... Yep. Alright. Fine. Fair enough. Okay. So we're going to say if minigame data dot count is greater than 0. That will fix the issue. Hopefully. Also, this is interesting. Come on. How the Sorry, I was checking it to make sure that my Twitch was not muted. I also completely forgot what those birds sounded like. I have not heard that ambient sound effect in so long. What's really weird is that it actually should be playing now. I wonder if that just means that the planes don't have that set up anymore. Take, hold, and light. Lamp. There we go. Oh. Wow. Okay, this is weird. Hold on. It still thinks I'm in the dark. Also, our materials are not building. Okay, so we got some minor bugs to fix. Wow, that is really terrible. Let's see here. There should actually be a thing for that. Hold on. Let's go to level. I'm sorry, scene transition. Okay, let's go to scene transition. I don't know what edge scene transition is. Edge guard. I don't that's used for. Um, target spawn point. Let's see, target level, target spawn point. Is that a spawn point ID? Yeah, he is. Okay. Quick test. Well, let's test and confirmation. Okay, yeah, in dark. Maybe I set that to true by accident. Let's go to the Grove real quick. Grove. Spawn points, player, woods. Okay, that's weird. So this in dark checkbox here, if that's true, it means that the spawn point is in a dark area, which means that you have to have a light. But if it doesn't, then it should set you to not be in the dark. But that doesn't seem to be what happened here, which is kind of interesting. So let's see. First things first, I guess. Let's go to our materials here, and I'm going to go ahead and say grab materials. So we have dirt and grass is not used, but dirt is, which is interesting. I'm not entirely sure where. Oh, and grass is also used. Oh, right, because that's in extra materials. Okay, that's a little. All right, let's go ahead and save that. So that should fix the blue substance issue. Interesting, though. Let's go to audio. We don't have pond audio. We do have. Interesting. What on earth are you playing then? Something is wrong here. Okay, let's go to our level transition. So load scene, go to definition, start coroutine, level transition, async, definition. We're looking for. Wait, hold on. Scenes.get level name, target level, fade in, fade out. Spawn. What are you going to be? Okay, we're looking for current spawn point. What the heck? Current manager, find object of type. Do I not use you? That's really weird. Okay. Let's see. Current spawn point. Scene loader spawn. Here we are. This is on. Oh, okay. So I find it via this. That's fine. That's interesting, though. It looks like spawn.inDark is set to true. Hold on. Let me go to definition here. Huh. Find all references. Let's go to definition here. I'm just going to debug debug.log spawn.inDark. Okay. Make sure that for some reason it doesn't think that it should be in the dark. That would be really, really weird. Let's go back to the planes level. We're going to start that transition over. I'm also going to move the test spawn closer to the log so we don't have to keep running halfway across the planes. So let's go ahead and open this up. Spawn points, player spawn, initial spawn, which is fine, but I'm actually going to call this one test spawn. It's going to have an ID of none, which means that it will be the one we default to. Okay, and we're going to rotate it all the way down. Should be good with this. We'll do that just to be safe. All right. Let's go. So take, hold, and light lamp. Interesting. Oh, I remember now. The music, the ambience is handled by the music system. something I have not looked at in so long that I forgot it existed. Okay, this is so weird. Let me go to in dark peak definition. What happens when I set it? Let's go to peak definition on exit darkness, which is apparently not being listened to. What about enter darkness? That is not being listened to. Okay. So these are literally just events. And they're never used, really? That seems strange. I must have used them at some point. But I guess in that case, I need to do this. UI.get HUD view dot, let's see, I think there's, right. So hide darkness icon or show darkness icon. So we're going to say if, actually, hold on. I don't remember if this is going to be a coroutine. Oh, good, it's not. It's just instant. That's fine then. So we're going to say if spawn dot in dark else hide darkness. Otherwise, we're going to say show darkness icon. Okay, so that should fix that little problem. And then we should be good to actually test everything. Oops, crap. Forgot about that. Jeez. Oh man, I forgot about the music manager stuff. That is a lot of stuff to forget. Ah! Hello, Coolware. Welcome back. You've missed a couple of random, what are they called? Exclamations, I suppose, is the best word I can think of. How are you today? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get this to work. Because now everything should actually be set up for us to transition successfully and not have weirdness going on. Alright, so we're going to take the log, take hold and light lamp. Okay. Are you kidding me? It's already busted. We got an index out of range exception, which means that it's not going to work. One day we will have things that don't break. Okay, let's see. Looking at word jumble. Word jumble. I try to remember everyone. I don't always succeed, but I try. Let's see. So we're going to say if minigame data, what should you return? Dot count is greater than 0. Randomize word. Okay. Now we hopefully won't run into anything. Once Unity compiles, I suppose. Ah, come on. No, don't do that. You. I want to get rid of you. It's in my item for some reason. Which is, oh, right. These were the... I don't need these anymore. Alright. Let's let all that compile, and then we should be good to test. Alright, a little tired, struggling to find motivation to continue my game at the moment. Laziness over 9,000. Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone has those feelings occasionally of just not wanting to work on the game. Well, I guess I shouldn't even say occasionally. Quite often, it happens. It is not unusual at all. So I find that in instances like that, it's good to take a little break and, I don't know, watch TV or play a game. I was about to type play a game. Hold and light. Ah, dang it. P. There we go. so awkward hearing the birds chirping. They're so loud. Okay. I am muting that so that you don't have to hear that. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to light this. Okay, so the left torch is lit. Now we're going to transition back. Then we're going to transition back to the plains, then transition back to the grove. Then we will transition, then that will let us double check that the torch stays lit when it should. Start. Okay, good. So this is correct. This torch is. And actually, hold up. Yeah, this is annoying. Oh right, it's using the old fire effect. It doesn't have audio. No, that's not right. Hold on, I'm gonna try lighting this again. Good. I'm gonna turn on the audio again. Sorry for the loudness. Oh. I could have sworn that it had. Could have sworn that it had audio, but I guess not. Turn off. Okay, muting the audio again because it's super annoying. Couple of days burnout vacation has turned into a couple of weeks. That happens too. I've definitely had the occasion where I want to take a day off and then that turns into like 3 days. And I always feel bad about it, of course, but you know, it's definitely happened to me in the past. All right, so let's try. Do we want to try to place our log? Yes. So first off, I'm going to try to burn with lamp. Okay. So next we're going to place log in torch. Okay. So now the log, or now the torch is, the torch contains a log and it is inside of it. So we're going to leave, then come back and try to see if we can see the log. I don't think we'll be able to, but it might still be inside of it. So we'll see if we can see it, which I doubt will happen. But then we'll try to light the torch to see if that works. And then if that doesn't work, we'll try to take the log. Okay, so the log's not visible. It's also not listing it. Let's try to light with lamp. Take log. Crud. Okay, so the torch is not set up to populate its contents persistently. So that's something we're going to have to do. Fortunately, the torches do seem to retain their lit and unlit states correctly. So, all right. I think it does have audio. I'm hearing something ever so slightly. Yeah, I thought I heard a little bit when I basically oriented it so it was just to my left. I thought I heard something, but it's super weird. Okay, we're gonna go. Let's go to our code real quick. So we're gonna say container. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, that's container. We want actually container torch and not the editor. Don't need container really any. Okay. So I think the problem is that I don't populate my contents until it's examined. So I'm actually not entirely sure if this is ever really even used. Yeah, it's not. That's a fault. Those were false positives. They were referencing contents from a different class that had the same base interface. Oh, definitely I'm beating myself over not continuing my game because I'm loving making it. Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you just gotta take a break. And then just give yourself some time, don't think about the game, and usually after a couple of days you'll be a little bit more enthusiastic at the very least to start working on the game again. Although I guess if it's turned into a couple of weeks, that's going to make it harder to get back into it. There's a delicate line there, because if you go too long without working on it, then you lose the motivation to work on it. In any case, contents. So how do I want to do this? So if raw contents is equal to null, then if not initialized in raw contents does not equal null. It's not been filled already. Okay. All right. So here is where it gets interesting. Because I know that the container torch will always display its item. I actually don't want to set its model to be false. I want it to be true. And the added item needs to be placed under the, what did I call it? Oh, item positions. Crap. Right. Oh, no. Hold on. Hold everything. Forget where we were using this. Find all references. Yeah, get visible item position. That's what I was looking for. All right. Get visible item position. Item ID. Okay. I think we'll be good. So let's try. Actually, we're not quite done yet. Getting this out of the way. It's all correct. All right. We're gonna. I guess it would have to be done on start. You'd think so. Let's go to from JSON. Private void start. I might actually have to override start. Really? I don't. Huh. I would have thought that I did. Okay, so we're going to say... I wonder if I should just move that to a load contents function. Where are you? Here we are. So we're going to copy this. And we're just going to have a private... Here we are. Private void load contents. Well, if you were stuck on your game or working on your game, what's the thing you're currently working on? Like mechanically or programmatically or artistically or auditorially? Would that be correct? I guess you could say orally. That would be technically correct. But I've always felt it awkward to refer to sound as aural. In any case, although unless you put heavy emphasis on the R sound. Contents. Okay, so let's go to. Well, actually, hold on. Let me. Should I do a check? Yes, probably. So I'll do this if check just to make sure. Come down here. If. Then we're going to say load contents. Okay. That might make it work. I don't remember where raw contents is set up. Container contents. Container. I don't ever actually say. Ah, here it is. Raw contents don't exist in the save file, so they have not been loaded before. That doesn't seem correct. I'm doubtful. Okay. U, if it's equal to null, raw contents is equal to new container contents. I guess we'll just do this then. We'll copy the whole thing. All the way down here. Else if. Okay, I think we're good. Now what is raw contents dot set? Set level container info. How on earth is raw contents never touched on? Does that mean that it's just always going to be false and it'll always just load that stuff in? That doesn't seem right. Let's go to containers real quick. Right. That's not annoying. Oh, dang it. Not that. There we go. Close you. Close you. Close you. Alright. Let's look for its raw contents. Find all references. Something setting it. Besides that, I guess not. That's super weird. Ah, here we are. Aha! I knew it. Okay. Let's see. Container item point. No. Container torch. Okay, so that's got to be in my start function. I knew it. All right. And I just want to peek this because it's been a while. Okay, so it'll give me a null one. Good. So that should be a little bit more functional. I'm hopeful. We will find out. Well, just finished getting the flag to be taken by players on the other team and having it all get networked for all of the new joining players in progress. Then I started working on respawning the flag once the team captures it, which I encountered some weird issues, which I fixed. I was given some unforeseen side effects that need to be looked at. A lot of bug fixing. Yeah. I mean, bug fixing can be somewhat tedious. But at the end of the day, it's necessary. I was going to say, why am I not hearing footsteps? Oh yeah, I muted my audio. Take, hold, and white lamp. Okay. Yeah, there are definitely times where doing a lot of sequential bug fixes can make it feel like you're not actually making progress. But, I mean, the ultimate goal there is to make sure that your game is as polished as it can be and make everything feel correct. Just because players are unrelenting when they find mistakes. So we're going to say place log in torch. Okay, we're going to leave, then come back. Start. Start. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. I wonder if that means that I just didn't have it with an appropriate ID. I mean, it totally should. Interesting. I know what it is. Well, okay. For the second time, it's not that I know what it is. It's that I didn't do this part. I don't think. So let's look for session in this script. Let's see. Here we are. Remove item. Session. Do I have to? Okay, good. It's a iContainer. Good. Set level container info. This. Let's go to, so that should be in our insert and remove item calls. Go to container torch. Do verb, remove item. Interesting. So I should be doing it. Set level container info equals get level info, level ID. If not level containers dot contains key container. Let's see. Dot containers. Okay. Let me peek this real quick. Okay. All right. I'm going to put some debugs in here. Debug.log container plus container dot data ID dot name plus all this fun stuff does not exist. Setting, or I'm sorry, creating data. I just want to see if that fires the second time we come in, because I feel like it shouldn't. I guess for now, I'm also going to put a debug here saying, so debug.log setting container data for plus container dot data ID dot name. Okay. We're also going to jump straight into the Grove level and just start testing from there, because at this point it's more tedious to constantly grab everything. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna have to grab everything either way. It's fine. Yeah, we're gonna set up some stuff just so it's a little bit faster, iteration wise. I mean, it was a good learning experience because I've switched to the networking plugins. I've had to hard code more more conditions that the old one simply did without much trouble from my end. So it was a nice learning experience networking the conditions and getting them to work. Oh, that's good. Where are we? Here we are. Let's go back to the Grove. Drag our log in here. And I guess we'll also drag our planes, items, lantern. Go back from debug mode. Where are you both? All right. Okay. So now we should be able to test everything. And you know what? While I'm here, might as well move the spawn point back up a little bit too. Okay. So now our iteration time has probably been cut by, I don't know, 20 seconds. Hopefully. All right, so we're going to say take, hold and light map, place log in torch. Okay, we're going to pause setting container data. Okay, so everything's set up. We're not going to collapse it. That way I know that it is in sequence. We're going to transition back. Well, transition to the planes, then transition back. And we should see some debugs to let us know if things are happening as expected. All right, let's immediately transition back. Okay, so we know it's not working. Did we get anything else? 2 audios in the scene for a while, which is annoying. That should not actually be possible. But apparently it is. Hello. That's interesting. So it thinks that it doesn't exist. That's really weird. I mean, let's collapse it, and then we can see. Yeah, we have two. They're the exact same. When they stack like that, it means that their output message was the exact same. So it should be impossible for it to not exist. Okay. Interesting. Does that mean it's getting blown away? It's the only thing I can think. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see what it thinks we're placing in it, I guess. So we're going to say debug.log. Let's do string.format here. It'll be much easier. So we're going to say container 0, and then contents, followed by 1. And we're going to say container dot data id dot name, then container dot content ids dot to, oh dang it, to dictionary. I can't do to delimited string. To array dot to delimited. Ah, am I not using cpl.com in here? Okay. Well, fine. I guess I can't do that then. I was going to say dot to delimited string, but that won't do it. Fine. You're no fun. Dang it. We'll just say dot count greater than 0, question mark, container dot content IDs 0, else empty. Fine, dot to string. Okay. So now we should be able to see what it thinks we're putting in there. If anything. Yeah, that should all work. Okay. Oh, dang it. I knew I would forget something. Ah! Sorry. I've recently made some adjustments to my avatar. I need to make full use of them. I'd like to start adding random miscellaneous features to him, just to get some fun out of it, but we'll see how well that goes. So take place log in torch. Okay, so the log is in there. This is very weird. So if it doesn't exist, then we set it manually. I mean, I guess I could change it so that it, instead of saying it's equal to that, we can say dot add. I mean, that should do the same thing, but I don't know why that wouldn't work. Dang it, of course it didn't stop playing. Off to bed. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Sorry, we got a little bit more bogged down in debugging than I expected. Um, hopefully that didn't give you post-traumatic stress disorder, seeing all the debugging going on. Um, Either way, good luck working on your game. Hopefully you'll be able to power through the burnout a little bit. All right, so why does this not work the way I would think it would? Take place log in torch. Okay. The only thing I could think is, oh, that could be why. Okay. Right. I think I might know why it's doing that. So I would like to just confirm that this does not work, and then we will light lamp, and then we will do what my next idea is. It didn't, but it did help me go to bed. I have that effect. I'm like a far less intelligent Carl Sagan. My voice is very reassuring. Actually, I assume it's just boring. All right, well, I'll hold you to that. So next time you show up, I'll ask you how much progress you've made. All right, did it work? It did not. I knew it. Okay. I did something very, very stupid, which is I've been modifying data that's returned from a list, which means I've been modifying an instance of the data. Yep. So get level info definition, which means that I have to do the wonderful reverse nesting crap that I hate. All right, so we're gonna have to say at the end of this level. Oh, hold on. Definition level values, I believe. Yeah. Level values of level ID is equal to level. I think that might do it. Although it's weird because that setup was apparently at some point, maybe not now, but at some point it was working for the castle. So I don't really know why it wouldn't work for the torch here. It's really strange. All right, let's try this. Take place log in torch. Hold, can't do that. Hold and light. Okay, so everything should be set up now. I'm curious to see if this actually works. If it does, I'm going to smack myself. I will be very angry. Okay, let's transition back. Start. Dang it. This is rather infuriating. Why wouldn't it work? I really don't want to have to debug my freaking save system for this. Yeah, again, it doesn't seem to think that it works. All right, let's go to find all references here. Did I not clear that? That seems to be the more prudent measure. I don't know why I'm... Okay, that was weird. Why did I not just clear these past Chris? What the heck? I'm pretty sure that it was just me being stupid. That's what's really bad about this. Oh, come on. Okay. So I use .contains key. So we clear it out in clear session. Do we actually save this? Or is nothing happening there? Interesting. Load session. But we don't do anything in save session, maybe? That could be why. So that's load session. No, that's load session. That actually means that it should work. Okay. Wait. Levels.names. Okay. Okay. I think I have an idea. Debug.log name. Maybe it's not being saved. That would be weird, but maybe that's the case. So essentially, it's not saving the data because maybe my level name is not what it's expecting. I honestly would not doubt it. That would make sense, and that's why I was talking about refactoring that system so it uses a scriptable object to avoid situations like this. All right, so let's go ahead and try and take hold and light lamp. Okay, place log in torch. Okay, it's in there. Let's take a look. Start. Transition back immediately. Start. Dang it. Interesting, though, we didn't get anything. There were no debugs for this name, which means that it is not doing anything. It must not be saving. Find all references. No, it's right there. Why? Why would it not work? That's really weird. Okay. I really wanted to avoid this, but I don't think I can. All right. Let me fix some of this stuff real quick. Okay. So we should have unencrypted save files now, which means that I can actually look at them and read them to see what they think they are. Explorer, text quest, saves. Let's just go ahead and get rid of all this. Shazam! All right. So now whenever it makes a save, we'll be able to actually look at it in Notepad++ to see what it thinks it is. So take, place, log in torch. We know it's already going to be wrong. Well, I'll still take this. Take, hold, and white lamp. So, I'm not entirely sure what's going wrong here. All I know is that I'm very unhappy about it. Alright, so we're going to go back here. Let's open this up. Alright. Grove, container, initial items. It must be incorrect. I'm going to go back and let's see if it still thinks that that's what our save file is. Start. Interesting. So initial items needs to be used. Okay, that's fair. Let's go to container torch. But, well, no. Here's the problem. I don't think it's returning what I expect. So it must be clearing and not properly loading them. That doesn't make sense. Let's go back here. Let's get rid of a couple of things that I don't need. Interactive object, item, torch inspector. Okay. So let's come down here. This is load session. Yes, good. Levels. Here we are. We're not getting anything in levels, not names, huh? Element levels. What are we seeing here? I mean, I see something called levels, so it should parse. Okay, I'm going to debug levels, I suppose. So we're going to say debug.log levels.toFormatted string, just to make sure that everything's as expected. Ah, I see what the problem is. The problem is I'm looking for all of our level information in our level names. So we're going to go to, so we're going to look at this. So it's actually looking for level information here, but we need to dig into containers first. That's the problem. Okay. Let me see if I did that correctly. Levels. Interesting. No, that's not correct. Okay. Well, either way, we'll get this loading. And I guess right in front of that, I'm going to just say debug.log. Is it just JSON? Okay. So that's going to be, we'll just do JSON. JSON.toFormatted string. Make sure that it's correct. And if it is not, then it means it's a problem with my parser, which will be a delight to fix, because we kind of would need a save system that works in order to test persistence. Ah, jeez. I think over the course of development, the JSON parser has been the most annoying thing, because it's correct enough until it's suddenly not. And there's always cases for some reason that cause it to fail. In this case, I bet it's a really stupid case that has to deal with objects inside of arrays. I'm willing to bet that's what it is. We'll find out. That's the case. I'm not going to be happy. I will be quite displeased, I'm sure. So take, hold and right lamp, place log in torch. Okay. I'm going to pause, take a look at our debug information. I mean, everything's as expected. Okay, let's come back here. Start. Start. Okay. What the heck? Load isn't called. That can't be right. What are you? Okay. At the very least, we seem to be inserting the item. Kind of. This is rather strange. We know that it didn't work, right? Yeah. Huh. I'm wondering, did it spawn it at the very least? Let's go to the log pool. No. No. There's only one, but that doesn't make sense. Oh, I see that. That's it. That's a incorrect log. Never mind. False alarm, people. False alarm. Okay. This is rather annoying. Reload. What the frig? Is it loading the wrong levels? No. That would be really dumb. Let's see here. Please tell me that it's not. Get container contents, peak definition. Oh dear. It might be getting the wrong contents. Oh, well that certainly could cause some problems. So I guess we're going to go ahead and debug the level here. Peak definition. Debug.log level. Wow, I was literally about to debug level. Okay, that should be an ID. So maybe that was our problem. It was loading the incorrect level data. I wouldn't doubt it. Seems like something that I would do. Oh, I guess I should swap out what we're doing right now, too. We are doing coding. Aha! Okay, so now we should hopefully see some more correct level information. I guess we'll find out. Take place log in torch. Okay. Okay, so it thinks we're in the grove. That's good. So let's grab our lantern, take, hold, and light lamp, and let's try to see if when we transition back, it thinks we're in the plains when it loads. That would be really annoying. Start. Let's see. Grove. Nothing happened here, which I suppose makes sense. There's no containers to try and call that. And here, we got Grove, we got Plains. Okay, loading the wrong level. That would have something to do with it then. So that's great. Get session string, session level. Okay, where are you being set? Find all references. Let's see. Session level. That's our default session, I believe. Yes. Level. Ah, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Could it be happening before save session is called, maybe? Maybe that's it. Oh, that would suck. Okay. Let me check. So it's in autosave level, but we have a problem there. Autosave level doesn't happen on start. Okay. I think I know what's happening then. So we're going to put a debug here. Debug.log test 1. And then we're going to put a test2 in the start function for our container, our container torch. And call it test2. Now, if test 1 happens before test 2, then we should be in good shape. If it doesn't, then bad things are abound. Around? I feel like abound is technically correct. Yeah, so that would explain why our contents for the torch are not loading, because it's not looking at the right data set. Hooray! My favorite data problems. Okay, so let's go ahead and take. Okay, we're going to say place log in torch, hold lamp, white lamp. Okay, let's go ahead and leave, then come back. This is kind of annoying. I'm running into this now. Did not expect this to be as much of a debugging session as it's turned into. Turn off collapse. Wah. Wait, hold on. Hold everything. Also, the 2 audio listeners in the scene is very annoying. I don't know why that's popping up now, but it apparently is. So, yeah, that's not great. So, test 1 is last, which means that it does come after test 2. Okay. Ah, frack. That's not really what I was hoping would happen. Great. Great. That means that I have to do something else. Let's come up here. Test 1. Okay, let's find all references here. Let's see if there's another moment where it's being set. I would assume not. On start it is. But only if it's in the editor and it hasn't been initialized. Okay. Let's go to session info. Not great. Not great at all. So I do it on auto save level, which is actually not the best time to do so. Okay, we're going to go to our level. I can't believe I don't do it there. All right. This is interesting. No, it's okay. No. All right. Let's go to our text quest. Text quest scene loader. Yep. Text quest scene loader. So we're going to set our data here in the middle of a level transition, because apparently I have to do it there, otherwise our containers are going to go crazy. So let's see here. Level transition async. I'm just going to grab this. Okay. I am a little annoyed that I have to do it this way, but I guess that's just the way it's going to work. Okay. So let's do this here then. Let's see if that works. Dang it. Of course I forgot to stop playing. And it still didn't stop playing after I clicked right on it. For some reason, Unity just does not want to stop playing when I'm working with it. All right. I also wish we could stop this. I don't know what's going on there. It's really awkward. Okay. So. this. Take place log in torch. Okay. Hold and light lamp or map. There we go. Okay. Now let's see. Start. And start. Okay. I guess we're gonna see. I can't really collapse, otherwise I get inaccurate settings. But okay, it thinks we're in the grove. It's there. Yes, we did it. Ah, yes, yes, we did it. Okay. Well, that makes me happy. Now, that's probably a bad thing. Maybe that's because it existed in the scene already. All right, we'll let that go. I'm a little concerned that that's gonna like double up again. So we're gonna transition back. Oh, and actually, hold on. Pull. Okay. Oh, that's. I think pull means move, and I guess it's probably not redirecting to take, which it should. All right, that's fine. So we're gonna light this. Oh, hold on. Light with lamp. Okay, both torches are lit. Right torch has the log in it. We're going to leave, then come back, and then we will hopefully see if they are both still lit, at which point we will try to take the sword. And if it is, I'm actually curious. So does this one? No, this one doesn't have it. It must have something to do with the logs. Might have something to do with how I'm storing items. I'm willing to bet those are actually 3 different logs now. Frack! You didn't save. But I can still take. Does that mean you think you're lit? Nope. You just were not lit. Okay. A lot of conflicting things here. First off, I'm going to check our log pool. How many used do I have? Just the 2? That doesn't make sense. This is very interesting. Oh, that means the other one is there. That's really interesting. Why is this log parentheses grove? It's not called that. That is interesting. I'm guessing that what's happening here is when I place the item inside the chest, well, inside the torch, it's spawning an item because I technically dropped an item in the world. So the session is looking at that and seeing that I have that there, but I don't think I want that. So that means I need to change how containers work a little bit. Or at the very least, I need to make it so that when you drop this item, it doesn't have an item coordinate if it's placed inside of a container. That's probably something that needs to happen. Okay. Well, first things first, we're going to see why this is not being lit, basically. Get rid of these debug tests. Let's see. Level manager, get rid of you. and session level. There was a debug that I probably want to remove. You're fine. Let's go all the way back up here. Here we are. I guess we'll keep that for now, those debugs. Really? I thought I had another debug where I was... here we are. That's the one that I don't need anymore. Or you. Okay. So let's go to container torch. Then we're going to go to the base torch class. So go here, go to definition, let's drag that out. Container torch, get rid of scenes, don't need it right now. Okay, lit ID. Let's find all references here. So, here we are. Protected virtual void start. That's why. So we're going to go override here. Protected override. We'll say base.start. Okay. So that should work. The next thing I guess we'll want to do is go to container and let's look for insert item, find all references. Okay. So we return in that case. We return in that case. But we don't return here. Okay. Peak definition. Do I create an item? I'm guessing I do. This is not. So peak definition. We just remove it. I'm currently, so right now what I'm doing is I'm basically double checking to make sure that I don't accidentally create a item coordinate in our save system whenever I place an item inside of a container, which must be happening because, let me go here. So you can see that Grove Torch in our Grove contents. You can see that Grove Torch contents has a log in it, but there's also a coordinate for log, which is unexpected. So maybe session is doing that automatically. Hold on, level manager. Because there was something. Oh no, here it is. Cleanup dropped items. Let me peek this. Dropped items dot clear. So I just recycle it. And okay, so I don't really care about you then. Do I do anything with you that's potentially annoying? No. No? Okay. Peak, well, peak definition. Let's see. Items, find all references. It's in level data. It's from JSON to JSON. Okay. Level data, items to add item coordinate. Okay, let's find all references here. Inventory. This one it's removed. Here we are. So if it does not equal null, if we remove all, here we are. Okay. So I don't want, it's annoying. So I don't actually want to have an item coordinate if I don't need one. So, okay, that means I have to do this. Bool create log, no, save true. So we're going to say destroy, remove all, save coordinate. Oh, fine, be that way. Okay. So here we'll say else if create. Okay, save coordinate. Okay. Really quick, I'm going to go ahead and comment these so that I don't forget what these all do. Remove the given item from the inventory. Item to remove from the inventory. Should the item be recycled after removal? Remove all instances of the item from the inventory. And should an see item coordinate be created and saved in this session. Okay, so now I have nice XML comments for this function, which means that I can actually go to text with scene loader. Oh, dang it. Okay, I guess I gotta go here. Find all references. Return here. So I guess I'm going to want to say false, false, and false. What's really interesting is I would have thought that this would have removed it automatically, but I guess it doesn't. Let's see. Up. Insert item, specific items. Yeah, remove item from inventory. Oh, that's redundant then, isn't it? Why would I need this to fall through? It's in cases where verb.items.count is greater than 0. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay. So I think I might actually want to do this. Copy this. Inventory. I'm sorry, not inventory. Container torch. I'm going to paste that in there. And I don't exactly see. So if I is less than verbs. Parser output results. Okay. Interesting. Not entirely sure why I'm doing it that way. Oh, it must be so that it can just go through and log everything. Okay. Don't know why. So we're going to have more stuff to fall through. So that's kind of weird. It's actually really weird. I'm going to container torch. Yeah, I output a result there. So I think I'm just going to do this then. I think I'm just going to say return. That might solve my problem. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see, am I playing? Good, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and delete my autosaves here. We're going to start fresh, and we will take a look at our autosave files to make sure that it doesn't generate both a item coordinate and a item position within the torch. So take, hold, and light lamp. Place log in torch. Okay, let's come back. Well, go to the planes, then come back. Start. Okay, well, let's go ahead and pause. Let's take a look at this. Good. Doesn't have both, just has the one. So now, when we come back to this level, we shouldn't see two logs floating there in the center. We'll still see one because it's just in the level, but we won't have two. So that's good. And you're still here. Good. Examine. Light. Torch with lamp. Okay. So that one's lit. Can I pull? Or take? Okay, good. Let's let that one go. We're going to go back to the planes, then transition back, and we'll see if that torch is still lit when we get back. Hopefully it will be, with the changes that we made. Start. Yes! Aha! I got it to work. Oh, I was going to say, although it's not saying that it's got a log in there, and I was like, oh wait, no, that's fine. When it's burning, it's not going to say that. So we're going to say light, torch, lamp. Torch is already lit. Good, 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 good. Light. Oops, actually, hold on. Take. Okay, good. Light with lamp. I'm also going to actually put out. Try to take this again. Good. Okay. Light with lamp. Take. Yes! All right. We got it all working. So I think that actually means that I can even do this. Put out. Oh, right. It's set to reignite. Never mind. I was going to say I was going to take the log. But yes. So everything should be persistent. So I'm going to leave, then come back one more time. And this time both torches should be lit. So let's go ahead and try that. Start. Okay. Make the transition backwards. Start. And both torches are lit. Ah! All right. So that's exciting. That means that torches now can be persistent across scene changes. So when we leave, come back, they'll be correct in their right state, either lit or unlit. They will contain any items that we have placed in them, if they are container torches, and they will appropriately spawn them, which is very exciting. All right, so that was the big thing. The next thing we're going to do is we might switch over to art to get the plains level looking a little bit better with its path, just because the dirt path kind of looks like garbage. I'll go ahead and show that to you real quick. So I would like to just redo it, basically, which won't be too hard to do. It just means that we're going to go into Pro Builder and paint it. You can see there's just like these really hard angles that make no sense for a path, because what dirt path looks like this? This is really, really jarring. So yeah, we're going to smooth these out to make it look a lot better. And depending on how much time we have left after that, we might jump over. Oh wow, that looks really washed out when the light is right next to it. Ugh, that's not great. It's like really blown out yellow. Let me take a look at that actually. That's really nasty actually. Ugh. I've never, God, I've never had a total washout of color like that before. That is not ideal. It's actually really, really funny. Just because. So what's happening right now is the lantern is drawing above everything else because any items that you hold draw on top of everything. But the light itself is a physical object, so it's getting pushed behind the wheat in certain instances. But that's not great. It really, really washes things out. So that's something I'm going to have to do at some point. But either way, for now, let's go ahead and put away lamp. Okay. So yeah, if we get through the path and it looks pretty much okay, we'll probably jump over to getting the scarecrow to be burnable, because right now I'm guessing this is all outdated information, and the fact that it says an interactive object means yes, I am correct. So the scarecrow is something that it's not a major important thing, but I like having it in the scene, and obviously it's just funny to have a scarecrow in a wheat field. All right, so let's go ahead and stop playing. And we're going to jump to our planes level and start modeling. Actually, we're going to jump to Procore Modeling, Overworld, and Planes Modeling. And then we're going to swap layouts. ProBuilder Dev. Probably can close Notepad++ now. All right, I'm swapping from coding to art. Man, I've gone through like 3 of the major 4 pillars of game development already in one day. Wow, doing so much. All right, let's see here. We're gonna go to Polybrush. Turn this off. Good. I was a little worried that I had already subdivided these, but I have not. Okay. So the one that I have the most issues with right now is this area. I'd like to smooth this out. It doesn't really, again, it doesn't really make sense. Although it is definitely going to cause us problems, so I need to get this to look a little bit better. So I'm not entirely sure what to do here. Oh god. Oh dear, I completely forgot that I modeled this again in ProBuilder. Oh, everything kind of looks ugly and there's a lot of jagged edges, which is not ideal. So we might try to do a little bit of modeling too. Okay, so let's try, just pushing this stuff down to smooth it out a little bit maybe. All right, wow, that was not at all what I wanted to do. Or was that? Okay. I would have thought that shift would do this, but, there it is, it's control. So what I'm trying to do here is basically smooth these things out. It's actually a little more annoying than I would have liked. Because you can see that it's very angular here, and it really should be more of a smooth transition. It's just really easy to accidentally get it to be a little too tall. So, already with that looks a little bit better. Just kind of carefully trying to smooth these things out. Make sure that it doesn't look too angular. Shrink these down a little bit. Just gonna keep going, isn't it? Okay. That's super terrible. I'm gonna increase my brush radius to 3. So we should get a little bit more of a soft painterly look. Wow, this is really not turning out well. Smooth modeling is not one of my strong suits, I'm not going to lie. Although I am impressed at how well Polybrush handles this stuff. God, it's just not ideal. I'm going to actually reload this scene. Let's go ahead and do gross modeling, don't save. So everything should just pop back in. So yeah, the major points of contention are pretty much along here. It's not ideal. And I honestly don't know if it would just be better to reorganize the ground here. I mean, I like the overall shape, but there are definitely some problems. And you can actually see it sort of on the ground when we're far away. You can see the normals sort of facing different ways in very obvious columns. You can see like along here and along here, 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 here. It's not exactly subtle. So that, I don't know if that just means I should redo it completely, because it's like the seams are very, very obvious. In fact, it's actually really annoying. I really don't like that. Wish I can soften them up. Which actually, I wonder if I can. Let's see. Flip normals. UV editor. Can I soften them? No. Smoothing. I guess I could try this. Not entirely sure. I've never really done smoothing within here, so. Oh, wow. That actually did a decent amount to make things look better. But we still have some problems when you get closer. You can see the very obvious banding. But it's certainly less noticeable here. So that actually makes things look way softer, which is good. Okay. Well, that's actually fine then. Alrighty then. I'm going to, I guess we'll close that. That worked out well. I'm going to start painting this path again. So part of the challenge here is that I do want to have these flowers guide you to this flower circle here, but that's actually kind of a moot point because the spawn point is going to be here when you transition from the castle sewers. In fact, I should actually move this over there. Player spawn, initial spawn point, here we are. Oh, that's actually the wrong thing. Doesn't matter. Okay, that probably means I can actually get rid of this. I can probably get rid of a lot of stuff, actually. Like triggers and such, because this is all just for modeling. Logic, which I don't even think I need anymore. Okay. Yeah, that actually looks a lot better. But before we call it a day, I probably should actually repaint this stuff. Okay. So, do we want it to just be a straight shot? I'm not sure what else we could make it. So, yes? Question mark? Alright, let's go to Polybrush. Change our brush size to 1. We're going to go to Paint. Wrong paint. Wait, hold on. Turn this off. Yes, here we are. So this is for our grass, which is probably fine. might end up doing something like this. Let's get our grass painted so that it's not just along the extreme edges, but is actually a fairly decent chunk visually of what we're looking at over here. Just gonna scroll over. Okay. So we're going to make our path look a little bit thinner, mostly because I feel like it's too wide right now. So I'm going to paint this to look a little thinner. Let's go through. Okay, keep going. Gotta keep going. And this is when I wish I had music. It really is kind of a... I always forget how slow art is on the stream, and I always feel bad about it. Okay, so let's paint that in. So now we have a thinner path, which is going to be more in line with the size of the path throughout the rest of the level. So you can see that it's thinner over here, and that's kind of the thickness I was going for. So I gotta repaint these guys to be thinner. Let's turn you off. I'm gonna come over here. We're gonna go to face mode. I'm gonna flip. Where are you? Flip face normals. Give me a second. I always forget where this is. Subdivide, flip normals, rise export. Come on. I know you're around here. That would be my cat running around because she wants attention. I thought there was... Ah, here it is. Flip face edge. There we go. So now you can see that it's a softer angle. Let's go ahead and let's go back to object mode. Let's paint again. We're going to paint texture 1 here. Looks like I missed some vertices. Let's make this more of a straight line type affair. Okay, doing well. Go back here to 1. Probably need this to be more like that. And I'm not sure what to do about that actually. Let's turn this off. Come back over here. I'm going to select some of these faces. In particular, you, and you. Okay. I'm going to flip their face edges. Oh, really? All right. Interesting. So we're going to grab you guys, then you, and you. Flip their face edges. Okay, so they're correct now. Let's go back to object mode. Let's go back to painting. We're going to paint along here. Okay, so let's go stop painting, go back to faces. We want all of these guys. Okay. Flip, face edge. I think I might have also accidentally, flipped a couple that I didn't need to. Face edge. All right, there we go. So now we have a smoother path. And again, the entire point of this is just to get paths that are more in line with what you would expect to actually exist in the real world. Because people, the thing about traveled paths is people don't like to zigzag along them. They prefer to just walk in a straight line. And eventually they walk in a straight line enough times that they just wear down the grass and it becomes a natural path of its own. And that's kind of what I was trying to do, but I zigzagged, I think, because I didn't want to be too far away from here when I actually ended the line. But I think that's an okay thing to do here. Um, my main concern with this entire level actually is I kind of worry that it's a little too big, in that I don't have a lot going on here. It's largely meant to be an open space so that you're not overwhelmed. Um, so the idea is that you spawn in here in the circle of tulips, I believe is what they are now. I'll probably change that to something else though. And you will have a clear view to the house. Um, and it will also give you a view over here to see that there is a path you can travel to. And you can also see the sign and the wheat field. Those would be the most prominent features. You'll also be able to see this forest area, but it's going to probably be less noticeable than either the cabin or the wheat field. And it might be less noticeable, I'm assuming, than the canyon, mostly because you're going to be right here, so you'll be able to see all the way down there. It'll look like you want to travel down that path. So it should give you a good survey of the land, but there's not actually much to do here. There's not a lot to interact with in this particular area. Like, I just mostly have nothing over here, which is kind of problematic. It's not ideal, certainly. But I don't know if I can really fill it up with anything. Sometimes empty space is just good. Sometimes it's good just to have a space where there's nothing there and the player can just get their bearings, and I don't really want to interfere with that because I kind of think that's what this is. Or at the very least, that's what I was trying to do. But I digress. Let's go ahead and finish painting our path. Okay. So now should be good. Let's go ahead and stop painting. Actually, no, let's go ahead and go back to painting. We're going to go here. Just going to travel along here until we get to a spot that looks correct. All right. Now we're going to flip everything. So you. Uh-oh. There we go. That was interesting. All right, let's flip the normals on these guys, or the face edge. Sorry, not the normals. That's a very different thing. Okay, let's grab you. Actually, I don't think we need you. I do think we need everyone else. Okay, so we're going to flip their face edge. All right. So now we got our straight lines. More or less, although it looks like we have a little bit of a hint of dirt there. Let's go ahead and paint that out, shall we? There we go. Okay. Go ahead and save. So, got some stray dirt. There we go. All right. I think we got a little bit of imperfections down here, but that's not terrible, but might as well touch it up, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and go to polybrush, start painting. Nope, not that. Start painting you. Paint that. Paint you, and interesting. Do I have extra painting over here or something? Yeah, there it is. All right, I think that's good. At least it should be. So now our path is a little bit more streamlined. Like if this was a little bit more round, but I don't think I can really get around that without having a lot of subdivisions. So many faces, all of which kind of of have to be there for me to have smooth terrain. Not a big fan of that. So there's 6,000 triangles in just the plains. Ugh. The the ground in the plains level has more triangles than some entire levels. That's really bad, actually. But the problem is I can't really do much about that. In order to have curvature that's softer, I need to have more faces in my models. There's no real way around that. That's just how it works. So not great, not great at all. All right. Well, we got this working. I'm going to also. This is annoying and problematic, so I'm going to go ahead and stretch these guys out. So we're going to stretch you, or rather, we're going to extrude these guys by. It looks like 1 unit is what I decided on. 1 unit is fine, I guess. And I'm not actually that worried about laying these UVs out correctly, because you're never going to see these. So I'm just going to let that go. I will live with distorted UVs, because I don't really need to worry about them. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and save. Go to our project. Pro Builder Models, I think it's Saved Assets, Overworld, Planes, right. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder called Ground. And we're going to go ahead and do a quick UV edit on this. So it's all correct. Oh dear, I did something stupid. Okay. Whew. I actually don't need to do a UV edit on that. Instead, I just need to do a UV generation on that. I'm going to bump that up to 4 in the pack margin, rebuild select UV2s, which might take a while actually. Yeah. Okay. Took 5 seconds. Well, 4.5. So now we're going to export this. So Tools, Pro Builder, Export, and we will export asset. So let's go to Pro Builder Saved Assets, Overworld, Planes, Ground. All right. Let's go to. Let's collapse some of this stuff because we don't really need it. Okay, we're going to go to Planes. So that's all there. This is what the old model looked like. You can see that it wasn't really terrible in terms of its hard edges. So I guess actually baking lights goes a long way for this. But I might have also already had it smoothed out. Maybe it was just looking really jaggedy because I was looking at it without lights. Well, either way. Let's go ahead and delete the log. Don't need you. And we will move our spawn points. So initial spawn point is there. We're going to move it over to here. Okay, let's go ahead and do like 0.5y. Not bad. Rotation, negative 90. Nope. So 120-ish. That is almost exactly what I want. Actually, that's pretty much exactly what I want. Hooray! So that worked out. And actually, I'm going to turn off test spawn just so I can see what that looks like when we spawn in. But we're also going to go ahead and replace our ground. So let's turn you off. Drag the new ground in here, which will obviously be more annoying than it needs to be. Let's copy this transform, paste component values. Whoa. What is? What is going on? Is that just because it's not lit? I guess so. Well, that's a little terrifying. I feel like we're just going to have this black mass below us. So that's going to be fun. All right, let's go ahead and add our components that we need. So physics, not physics 2D. Physics, mesh collider. We're going to grab polybrush ground. So copy component. Do we need anything else? Need to make it static, don't I? Light map, navigation, off mesh, and reflection probe. Okay, not really using reflection probes, but that's fine. So light map, navigation, off mesh, and reflection. Okay, and last thing is to paste this. So we should be good. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's hit play. This is going to be terrifying. It's just going to be solid black. And I will have no idea where I am. And I won't be able to tell if it's... Oh, jeez. Ah, it's terrifying. Ah, it's... Okay. Yeah, so that's a thing. Getting a screenshot of that. Oh yes, I forgot about these guys. There's a particle effect around this circle of flowers that just says bug. It actually looks pretty nice. In any case, so we can't really see if this looks good or not. Yeah, that's a little problematic. And I know that building a light map is going to take forever because of the sheer size of the planes level. So we're going to take this, say hold and light lamp. So we can do it like this. Actually, I want to get another screenshot of just that, just because that actually kind of looks cool. But yeah, that's not ideal. So we can follow it along to see if it looks right while we're traveling along it, but we can't really double check that it looks correct when we're looking at it from a distance. So that's a little problematic. So that probably means that this is a good time to stop, actually. It's been about 2 hours. So we got everything done that I expected to get done, or that I was hoping to get done, which was largely ensuring persistence across scenes with the torches. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to do tonight. Since we can't look at this, I think that's a good reason to cut it off a little early. I say a little early after 2 hours and 15 minutes. But I think that's a good place to stop. So announcements. Nothing really important. We should be on schedule for Saturday's Devstream. So we'll be doing more custom content creation tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, we'll pick up the custom content stuff on Saturday. So as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.